It's happening. SpaceX launches first Falcon 9 carrying Starlink satellites. From Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket carrying 51 Starlink satellites. Hey guys, welcome back to your only tech channel, Tech Vision, that provides you everything you need to know regarding your search. In today's video, we are going to tell you about SpaceX's Falcon 9 that carries 51 Starlink satellites. This was the first launch of the Starlink satellite internet constellation from the West Coast, as well as the first batch of a second stage of Starlink satellite deployment, which will let the network reach new regions such as northern Canada and parts of northern Europe. Let's dig some deeper roots. A Falcon 9 that previously performed 9 additional missions, including 7 previous Starlink flights, was utilized for the launch. SpaceX has launched over 1,800 Starlink satellites in all, and it has been providing coverage to clients for over a year during its beta phase. In August, the firm announced that it had dispatched about 100,000 terminals to customers, with over 90,000 active users on the service and a total order volume of around 500,000 kits. SpaceX intends to significantly expand the constellation in order to enlarge the geographic area where Starlink service is available. Its long-term goal is to expand the constellation to approximately 30,000 satellites, which should give customers reliable global broadband service. The Falcon 9 rocket from SpaceX successfully launched 60 Starlink satellites into orbit. Falcon 9 launched from Launch Pad 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, according to SpaceX. Prior to this launch, the mission's first stage booster had completed 8 missions. Falcon 9's first stage has landed on the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship, completing the 9th flight of that booster, SpaceX tweeted. The Falcon 9 is a 2-stage rocket, which stands 70 meters or 229 feet tall, as indicated by data given during the transmission of the dispatch. It is depicted by SpaceX as the first orbital-class rocket capable of reflight. The 60 Starlink satellites were conveyed about an hour after the rocket was dispatched. Starlink is a satellite-based internet constellation that aims to blanket the globe in high-speed broadband, and it's been hailed as a solution to potentially connect the billions of people who still don't have access to the internet. To offer continuous coverage, swarms of satellites in low Earth orbit, around 340 miles high in SpaceX's instance, are needed. Approximately 1,000 Starlink satellites have been deployed, with SpaceX planning to expand Starlink to over 40,000 satellites. That's 5 times the total number of satellites launched by humans since spaceflight began. SpaceX now controls almost a third of all active satellites in orbit. One of SpaceX's oldest rockets launched on its historic 10th flight, bringing the first stack of Starlink satellites into space in more than 2 months before making a flawless landing at sea. The Falcon 9 rocket launched from Space Launch Complex 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Station at 11:55 p.m. EDT on September 14th, marking the company's 22nd launch of the year. It was also the first time this specific first-stage booster had flown for the 10th time. SpaceX's Yaomi Zhao said during the launch broadcast, "What a beautiful view of Falcon 9 as it successfully lifts off from Pad 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base, carrying our stack of 51 Starlink satellites to orbit. Stage 1 landing on our drone ship for the 10th time." Zhao further said after the booster touched down, noting it was the 90th successful landing to date of the company. SpaceX successfully launched a set of operational Starlink satellites from its California launch facilities on one of its 229-foot-tall or 70-meter Falcon 9 workhorses. It's also the first dedicated Starlink trip in over 2 months, a dramatic contrast to the regular rhythm established earlier this year when SpaceX launched its own satellites almost weekly. The rocket's first stage returned to Earth around 9 minutes after liftoff, landing on SpaceX's drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, for its 10th successful landing, the second Falcon 9 first-stage booster to do so. The large ship, which was previously stationed in Florida, traveled via the Panama Canal to aid the company's recovery efforts on the West Coast. The marine layer, a thick shroud of fog that blankets the area and reduces vision, is well known at Vandenberg Space Force Base. During the live broadcast, the rocket was hardly visible on the launch pad, demonstrating the occurrence. The Starlink megaconstellation developed by SpaceX was built with one key purpose in mind: to give global internet access. The company is primarily targeting customers in distant or rural locations with limited to no internet access, although people from all over the world will be able to subscribe to the service, according to the company. At the same time, SpaceX is hoping that Starlink will help fund its deep space ambitions, such as the Starship program. To that purpose, corporate engineers created a fleet of flat-paneled broadband satellites that will fly over the Earth, beaming internet connectivity to people via a small user terminal. SpaceX has successfully launched 1,791 Starlink satellites into orbit, including the earliest test versions, exceeding the company's initial limit of 1,440 satellites. Thousands more, though, have received formal authorization from the firm. So what is your take on this matter? Tell us in the comments. If you want to see our upcoming videos, ring the bell icon and don't forget to like our video as well. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching.